Hello, world, and welcome to another exciting edition of the program Ashford, Garley Live on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening in other parts of the world, Wednesday night, Thursday morning around the world. We are coming away from Detroit, Michigan, and of course, this is our base. It feels great to be back home. To doing what I love to do. Is that Mr. Mace? I see Crates, Willie Will Beard, how are you? And Fraser, hello as well. Fraser is saying, all right. I also see Slicky Kamara, okay? Fraser is saying, good evening, Mr. Garley. Good evening to you as well. Bob K. Bowley, our technical director out of Liberia, Henry Passaway. I'd like to say a big welcome to the program tonight. Manjua Dollar, Makula Lama, Mr. Rabbits out of California is also here tonight. And folks, Testimony Ebony Doga. Hey, Mr. Garley, he says, how are you, my brother? We said Jigwe. I'm watching from Ramsey, Minnesota. Good job. Keep it up and be blessed. Okay. And folks, trust no shadow in the dark. Okay. The wise man once said, tough times don't last, tough people do. And the height of a man is never known until he rises. Again, as always, we provide professional consultancy. If you're interested in becoming a broadcaster, you want to be taught on how to project into the microphone, voice over production, we can train you in that area. You have a business and you want advertisement, you want us to advertise for you, we can also do that as well. You are struggling and you want to create more awareness, you want branding, and you need a website. Bridge Radio can provide that for you, build a professional website for you as well. So when you're interested in some of those things, let us know. On the 17th of April, I'll be flying to Philadelphia for the convention of the Council of Patriots, the COP. And I'm going to be flying with the wife. Then on May the 16th, I will also be flying there to MC some engagement ceremony. Then I'm going to have to fly back to Philadelphia again on the 16th of May is a 50th birthday celebration, and I'm going to be the MC. Then on the 23rd of May, I'm going to fly back to Philadelphia again to MC this engagement. So people listen, they not some of those funny voices you hear on the microphone. The microphone has its owner. When you hear the voice, the man knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing when it comes to the microphone. So, hey, and it just didn't start overnight. It takes practice. You have no idea. Look, growing up, I used to walk, talk, act, and do everything that Shema Brown, Martin Brown. I wanted to be on the radio so bad. And when Martin Brown was doing a commercial, a voiceover, I would stop doing what I'm doing, and would listen to him. I would practice. I would rehearse. Oh, my dad used to get angry. My father wanted me to be an accountant. How can you ask somebody to be an accountant when Martin Brown they're on the radio, Sherman Brown they're on the radio, Eustace Smith they're on the radio? I'm listening to them and practicing, talking to these people. I wanted to be on the radio so bad, like the Richard L. Wilson, and may his soul rest in peace, the Louis Wiles, all those people. I wanted to be to them so bad. And I would just practice. And at the end of the day, I am finally in that position. Envy no human being. Practice what we call constructive jealousy. Most of the people you see today that have made it, when you hear the stories, you'll be shocked. A lot of you don't even know that Steve Harvey slept in his car for 2 years. He was homeless. Look at Steve Harvey today. He's a multi-millionaire. He ain't finished college, yo. He ain't finished college. He went to college and dropped out. He said college not for men. He became a comedian and he did it to the best. And today, Steve Harvey is investing in Ghana. When you see somebody doing good, ask them a few questions. I mean, how can I do this thing? Don't envy them. Don't speak ill of them. It won't help you. You know why it is true that I say all the time I hate feeling nobody much, but at the same time I'm humble. And I'm the type of guy that a lot of people tell you, say Ashford doing something, you're asking, he tell you how he does it. Because I'm Ashford. You are Joe Blow. My approach will be completely different from your approach. Maybe you will come and do better than men. Another thing, try to be grateful in life. Don't show ingratitude. Be grateful to people who help you along the way. That's how you get your blessing. There's too much. This small thing we're doing on Facebook, people making it the same like that competition we're in. Oh, I get more numbers than you. I get the other numbers here. Then you, our followers, are not doing well for us. Oh, my man, you making mistake. They may got more numbers than you. Man, to hell with the numbers, man. To hell with the numbers. You know how many people have heard about me? They have not seen me. They have the opportunity for the first time to see me just because of the social media. You have got to practice good work ethic. They're coming into the studio tonight. I was so tired. I almost said, you know what, I will take a break. But I cannot take a break when you have so much trust in me that you will come on the show every night. In a day where I don't host a show, your day is bad because you missed the political football game, the political soccer game. And I will not let you down. I promise you, I will not do that. Do you know that it's costing me more money just to be on the show? This show will pay off in the long run, but right now, it's costing me more money just to be on the show. Sometimes they wipe the front of her face. My man, you know you're supposed to be the way. They radio business yet, and blah, blah. I will soon see your laptop, and all that kind of thing. This is what I love to do. This is what I have passion for. And I will continue to do this because you know what? This is my calling. This is my calling. Why it is true that I will not let you down. Huh? You, on the other hand, my followers, my brothers and sisters, my friends, you have to promise me that you will not let me down as well. I need your support. I have a whole team in Liberia now. Next week, we're launching Bridge Television in Liberia. And my guys will be on there to go live at least 3 times a week. I am able to do it now because of you, because of the support. Yes, I started this stuff from the ground up. You know, we got all the fancy equipment and everything. You know, we're not broadcasting from a cell phone. We're broadcasting from the real equipment, from the real studio. And when there's somebody who has the knowledge of how broadcasting works, will know how much money it costs just to be in studio to get this done. And having said that, folks, I want to take this time to take a word from our sponsors. Those who say, Ashford, you can't do this alone. We believe in you, and we're going to give you a little token just to keep you going. So I have the sponsors for this week, and let's take a listen to our sponsors.
What's on your ear? All the people go also. You can't no food. That one, they issue me talk. I beg you, man.
No, my man John, that bar you do. No, that bar. Hey, my begin, what happened?
I said, my man John, I do verse all day today. I was walking. They get bending. No car to go hustle. I can't. Jebena himself small driver. I go ask her. She issue me talk, telling me say she tired and I'm feeling okay today. So she will start cooking the time she feel it. She not feeling cooking. Oh, I said, Jebe, what thing making you not feeling good? Jebe want talk bad to me. I what's on your ear? All the people go hustle. You can't no food. That one, they issue me talk. I beg you, man.
No, my man John, that bar you do. No, that bar. Oh, but you don't know Billy woman understand now. Ever say this time, my man, we can just talk to our woman. You can say sweet into them. We can talk it that sweet. No, you can say my chemo. Hey, my darling, my sweetie, hey, man, I'm hungry. Oh. Now, where do you go today? Or they didn't do, I don't like it. But to be woman that bar. No, I say my own chemo. The naked way I can talk to her, say everything can be all right. She can be happy. I can get anything I want. Hey, you know, and you see how she can be happy with our children say. So look, John, my brother, when you vet, I had your friend here. Can't lecture with me. I will lecture you how to take care of a woman to cool your heart. I will show you woman 101. Beating woman not good. You are a star. And look at you. Who the woman you ever? Because when your friend, man, he will bust your dude.
This announcement was brought to you by Diaspora Women for Change Incorporated and Alliance for Liberian Women International.
Woman, I see a woman every day in the mirror.
And so this program is also been brought to you by Dr. Mariah Seaton from the state of Illinois. Miss Frances Power from Europe. I believe she's in Norway. Ann Penn from New Jersey or New Jersey. Pauline Maximo from Philadelphia. Mr. Eric Marshall from Philadelphia. Ebet Liberia from Philadelphia. Wokeman Sandolo from Boston, Massachusetts. Edmund Yates from what the play name? Washington, Seattle. Yes, no, Washington, Seattle. No, Seattle. Oh, but she was somewhere in Washington, not Washington D.C., but Washington. Lama Shepherd, Nelly Say, Faya Kofe, Mazola Gisi just joined today, and Mazola Gisi is the guy who does the Sunday program on Liberia Public Radio every Sunday morning. I mean, his program is very inspirational. He plays all types of gospel music. Mazola Gisi is very humble. He's a big brother, and I just love when he dances as he does the program, and that's a good thing. So Mazola Gisi is in fact one of the sponsors for the program, and folks, we have a breaking news. 25 Liberians have been arrested in Sierra Leone for smuggling. They have been incarcerated now for 4 days. And I want to say a big thanks to our local team in Liberia, headed by Mr. Habiba Clinton. And speaking of Habiba Clinton, he's live now from Liberia. Mr. Clinton, hello and welcome to the show.
Yeah, how are you, Ashford? And good evening to everyone.
Okay, I don't want you to go in depth. I know we'll talk about this at halftime, but bring us up to speed as to what is going on in Liberia right now.
Oh, as it relates to what the information just break through or ordinary happenings.
you can begin with that, but don't go into detail until at halftime when we start. But you can start with that because I'm told a 25 kg bag of rice is $4,000 now. You know, first we started with the gasoline scarcity, but now the bag of rice is in fact it's a serious factor now. So yeah, go ahead. We're listening. We're all ears.
Yeah. I think we discussed the issue of rights yesterday on the talk show on the platform. For the 4,000, based on that projection, I just want to leave it as it is because where I have traveled, I've foreseen a few hundreds of dollars added to the 2,500 Liberian dollars that people usually buy Rex for. As I said, 2,700, 2,750, the last. So when it's projected to that, I'm foreseeing the follow-up tomorrow. But I don't want to let the cat out of the bag at this moment because I'm precisely present in the Monrovia, the provincial capital. And to get to know what's unfolding, we need to know precisely what are some of those major issues are happening in the various stock market. So let's just talk about what you just talked about. Let me just slash a bit. In as much that the information you just break through has not taken the media in Monrovia and its surrounding. That is true. They have some Liberians who left from Monrovia and took into Southern to get gasoline to be brought back. And I said because of what gasoline has been, it is to consider that as a cake, the happiest cake. So people now use this medium to get much money. That has led many people to have took in Southern. So the number of people that you talk about, 25 prisons, are left, and they maliciously crossed the border allegedly, and passed through the Bow water side and went to Kenneman. En route, they could not come back because what they were breaking into and arrested by some security personnel in Southern, as we say. So we're going to be following that story out tomorrow because they are saying that the trial will be a hearing. But so crucially, we need to be looking at that very serious. As we just broke up, Bridge Radio, I've been one of those to have to break out that news. So we will be still discussing that on tomorrow.
And Habiba, I just want to say the big thanks to Bob Bole, to you and the rest of the crew, because this is airing now for the first time on Bridge Radio, and I don't know how you got this information, but I'm telling you, it has proven to be credible, and this is the kind of thing that we need for people to respect your entity. But again, thank you so much for what you've done and continue to do. You were saying something. Go ahead and continue saying what you were saying, Mr.
Yeah, well, one of the things we do, we are based on democratic theory in the media. We critique government. We also talk the good side of the government. Tomorrow, the government to President George Weah will be breaking ground for a full link from the ELWA to Rabat International Airport. And Ashford should know that 2013, the Japanese government provided a grant amounting to 2.2 million at the time when Samuel Kofi, who was serving as public minister of public work minister at the time, and later he was succeeded by Judy Moore after the marriage. Wow. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and due to, according to Judy Moore, then 2015, he began to address the media, where people were much concerned that the project did not yield well, and money allotted at the time to do several work on the road was not very forcing, was not fair. So what we perceive there have been the project took off after the Ebola crisis on the watchful eye of Judy Moore, and we saw some work done on the road. But this time around, we foresee that the full link that they're talking about will be using a success where Liberians will be impacted, talking about movement, and even those people who coming from other areas like the diaspora and other part of the world to come up, and they're coming because the RIA link have been a serious problem. There have been many accident cases and too many things, no light, and some of those things had to be there to some of those shortcomings in the pathway. So we foresee to cover all that program, the groundbreaking tomorrow, God willing. Ashford.
Thank you. That's the voice of Mr. Habiba Clayton. He's our local correspondent in Liberia. And Habiba, I can't see my ballot.
What's that?
Someone say he found past me. I don't know what it was. Someone say he found past me. And last evening, the president of Liberia is saying this is his favorite show. You know the man plays soccer now. So when we come on and do these things, this serves as entertainment for George Weah, So when he heard the political soccer game, he said, then he can't say to me. He said that man not easy. He said they people in America, yeah, they're the real army. Just like that. So the president watches the show. And if you don't know, George Weah has about 20 plus phones where he would say he will go from one show to another as he drinks his Hennessy SO. And man does not have any clue as to how to run a company. So this is a big time entertainment for him, Yeah. What else is going on in Liberia, Habiba?
Yes, one of the important thing that we need to be discussing on the show this evening has to do with the CPP, in short, as a coalition of political party. The chairman, Benuna Ure, is taking another trend. What's happening there? You are just trying to stress about it in the past show last night, where the parties need to put themselves together to make them to amalgamate, so to be able to have a spend for 2020 or 2023. But this issue of a provisional survey, where individual who is going to be neutral, and they're talking about somebody taking them from other country to bring them to supervise the entire thing in terms of selecting who to be a candidate. And as for candidacy for an individual and a political party, people go for primary. So Benina Ure keeps saying here now that he will not accept any other new thing coming in to selecting a candidate for the political party, that the coalition of political parties, and that should be done through primary. It should not be done through a strange in the method. So, and he said as a chairman, he will not accept that. So we wait to see, because why do we all gather has something to do with when they both have come together, and they're going to bring the name CPP to another name, and that name is still boiling in the political pot, and have not come out yet. Even as much as we keep hearing about small names are coming up, but we are not getting the full flag and established name yet. They're going to be coming up with a name. That name will be the name going to be used for the 2020 and 2023 election. So before they can come up with that name, they need to go for primary, and that primary will not be canceled. The name that according to Benina Ure, they're not going to use any survey method, because they got people who have some financial strength, people who are going to use their personal gain inferential means to get to become a candidate for the party, so they wouldn't do that.
Abiba, explain to us. I heard something strange. Not only from Mr. Ure, but I heard about this. The VPS, Voter Perception Survey. And this is something that we've not heard about, in the ballot politics of Liberia. Bring us up to speed. When you talk about VPS the VPS, that's it, the Voter Perception Survey. Let us educate me and the rest of the listeners. What does this mean?
Now, that alone would not be like you have the party hierarchies of going to primary to vote. It was going to be like something like stressing on popularity, and the people going to be going into place to place to soliciting the views from people, and they're getting like you having a survey method, and that method would be like checking somebody's name. Who is it? Do you know this man? Where you think that this man going to be? It's Ashford. Do you know Ashford? And Ashford is vying for this position. And what do you make of that? Oh, I do support Ashford. And somebody will say, no, I don't support Ashford. I support this person. So in that, like, from that field, for the collection, the data they're going to be collecting from the field, and the person who's going to be victor in that collection will be the candidate. But that's where the problem comes from, because somebody is saying that will be manipulated. And they need to do as it is, and have been a tradition from day one. People go for primary to do a selection for candidates. So they don't want that VBS method.
Well, Habiba, let me play the devil's advocate there for a minute. The fact that you have not seen something done before, that doesn't mean that we can't do it. Is it a bad thing to go out and say, you know what, you love Liberia, you love the people of Liberia, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Who do you think can be your next leader? Who would you support? I think it is something that we can also, why it is true that we have not seen it happen before, it doesn't mean that we can't try this. Habiba?
Yeah, that is true. But a research from a research point of view, if you are going in the field to do a research is not 100% perfect. Okay, and you will have to do something. At the end of the day, somebody having to come. Are you getting me?
We might not say voter perception a survey in America, but they conduct poll. And that's how you decide as to whether you want to watch Ashford Garley live or you want to watch some other show. You know?
Okay, yeah, now.
And conduct a survey and say, listen, you have this other cable company, you have that other cable company, you have this internet company, and you have that other internet. What do you enjoy the most? And the people, they will speak and they'll give you answers, you know? So, I mean, you know, go ahead, but you're saying something, Habiba?
Yes. Now, internal survey, we are saying, for one, analytically, it's not a bad thing, all right? But based on the majority of the minority, this is a process where people need to give their side to what unfolding, and you cannot deprive somebody from their opinion. That's one of the things you should take in consideration. So maybe somebody in the minority will say this process is not a fair one. The majority will come and say, yeah, this process is fine. But in a nutshell, what you just made mention, which category will you put this, and how can you categorize this particular new method that people will be able to consider, but not just to come up and in a generic form and just say that don't use a VBS. As much as it's a strange thing, generally speaking, everybody will agree with that, but many people don't understand what's unfolding. So you need to create that education, and those who are going to be part of this process, and we say, yeah, I think this is a deal. But as far as speaking, and people are not ready to come, but they are not being geared, they have not understood what do you mean about VBS. So as traditionally, people believe that people go for primary to elect their candidate. That's where I'm speaking from, Ashford.
Okay, and then again, those who found themselves part of the opposition, I don't know if they consult their leaders before they come out to speak, because every time you come out and attack each other, you are making the opposition to look bad, and you're just empowering the very people that you term useless, the very people that you think don't mean well for Liberia. Don't you think, Habiba, these people can go behind closed doors, especially the leaders, and discuss these things? You know, because for example, all right, again, I'm Ashford Garley. I don't give a damn how you feel and how you don't feel. Okay. Ty one way gets angry and he tells a grown man, somebody who is old enough to be his grandfather, to shut up. Okay? Yasin gets angry and she attacks somebody who's supposed to be in that urine. On the other hand, Henry Costa gets angry and he uses all the cuss words because somebody attacked his political leader. I don't think this is how we should run. I don't think this is how people should conduct themselves, especially those who are thinking about taking up leadership because of, according to them, the irresponsibility of the present administration. When you continue to do this thing, you know, voters are afraid of negative campaigning. They say, oh, but if you ain't get there yet, they're fighting about themselves. But then that job we are taking to 12 years, if possible, that job we are sitting there for 24 years. People have got to be responsible. People have got to know that we can disagree, you know, because somebody is running his or herself in the mud. That does not mean I should follow them to go in the mud. When I look at all these things, I say, you know what? The Cummings or the Ure or the boycott, the Yombi Kanga, all these people against Ashford Garley, I have been in this business for a very long time, and I am not going to limit myself to just being a member of any political party because I have a voice. You know, when you've been in the business for over 25, 30 years as a broadcast journalist, you know, and some of these people who are just in the thing to come and grab and go, are you looking for change or are you looking for a chance? Habiba?
You rightly put it, and this is what we should be looking at. Look at this issue like you put it from the different lines or lenses, and if people had just left the issue of personal gain or maybe status in society, and when I'm occupying this thing or maybe a scrap role in society, and based on I'm rich or maybe achieve role, something like that, you forget about all of those things and put the country forth, and let people get to desire what kind of man you are and what's the value in you, you know, and people will get to understand and people will make decisions decisively. But what happened here from time to time, not just presently, and I hope that they're going to be putting their horses together, because if you have uncertainty at the kind of moment, and where you're going to be facing in the short distant future, where there's a political play-by-play game going to be played, and you want to be a victor in a present, you have to put yourself together. So, like you said, people are not really looking at the institution that they want to be part of, but they want to institutionalize individualism. That maybe I wouldn't want to be fair, and whatever I say should be funded because what I have, or maybe what my status in society based on stratification. And that's not what we should be looking at. Liberian politics, I think that has been shifting. And I hope that the three giant size guys, who is Joseph Boakar, the Benida Ure, Alexander Cumming, and the female, they need to want to go together and decisively, you know, come up with a conclusion that will benefit the masses, not just looking for individual popularity.
And just before we introduce the officials and the players, Mr. Abraham Gideon forms part of Petrol Trade, and Mr. Gideon said in an interview with a journalist yesterday, I have access to Mr. Kitty because he's my cousin, you know, and he said, he sent the videos of men, and he said his stand on provisional lifting is wrong, and people who took provisional lifting should pay back LPRC or the licenses should be revoked. And we're going to play the video coming from Mr. Kitty. What do you stand on this, Mr. Clinton?
But I think let me just go back a little. We're discussing something about people think issues, societal ills, or maybe setback that we do face in our society nowadays. It has something to do with people being compromised. And well, all of the things that we talk about, there's law on the book. Let me just put you back, Ashford. Everyone who want to live in the society, you will have to be a free and be somebody who able to make your independent decision. And in that independent decision, when you want to be part of any member of a group, you will get to know the rule and regulation, the do's and the don'ts. So when you're part of the society, when you get that right, you understand that when we do this thing, it will be right. When you do this one, it's bad. And you go by that one who is being formed to go against some of those norms to be punished. We shouldn't have been like this today, Ashford. But all of these things sometimes it's being bypassed. And people see it and they undermine it. You understand? With all of the things that you brought out, even today, lawmakers have put themselves together and trying to do investigation. And you'll find out that through the investigation, even through the narrative, you'll get to know that there's having some fireplay because of this issue of compromising issue, solidarity. This person is my uncle, my nephew. This person is a boss. We cannot denigrate this person. That's an issue in Liberia. Our society has serious problems. So if we have into a while to go into these things and work on some of those societal ills, and we'll have a very better society. But not just come in the middle and come out and say, oh, we need to change this one, but we still have the root cause. How can we manage to do all of this root cause, to remedy all the things before we can get where we want to get? If not, we're just going to be one of those here talking over and over and over and over and over and no progress.
Thank you. That's the voice of Mr. Habiba Clayton. He's our local correspondent out of Liberia. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to visit Information Highway, where Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts is standing by to read your comments and tell us what are some of the food that people have in store tonight at the SKD Sports Complex between the game between Liberia and Society Hills. Mrs. Brooks Roberts, you're live on the radio, and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Garley, and good evening, everyone. Habiba, how are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. Would like to say welcome to everyone for coming to join Bridge Radio this evening. We want to welcome all of our sponsors. Thank you for sponsoring this game, this political soccer game. At this time, we'd like to say welcome to all of you as I read your comments. We want to welcome Mr. Henry Passaway. He says, good evening. Frazee says, good evening, Mr. Garley. We have Siliki Kamara watching. We have Wise Chiba. He says, I'm watching from Ramsey, Minnesota. Good job. Keep it up and be blessed. We have Testimony Ebony Duga. She says, hey, Mr. Garley. Rosalind Yancy Lloyd, watching from Australia. You're welcome, Rosalind. So we are all around the world here right now, Mr. Garley. And we have Ms. Masa Roberts. She says, Masa Roberts is watching. We have Lord Bless Son Roberts watching from San Francisco Bay Area, California. Vivian Dudo Ado. Hi, Ashford. You have Nadia Really. Hello. The giant. She has that power sign. We want to welcome Miss Natalie Pritchard. We want to say good evening to Gama Moses, who says, hello, my brother. Fayan P. and Joe. Just coming. Mr. Joe, just so you know, you're never late. If ever you miss anything, go to our YouTube channel and type in the political soccer game. You can also go to www.bridgeradioafrica.com to follow up on the shows. I do that every day when I'm at work and I'm catching up on my reading on my email. I go to YouTube and go to Bridge Radio. So we also want to say welcome, Simon or Simon Fambule. Say yay. Testimony, Ebony Doga. I know, right? You are super talented, my brother. We say welcome, Mason Clark King. We have testimony again. I know, right? We wanted to welcome Mr. Randolph Glee, who is watching. Matilda Williams. Yeah, hello. The GB is here. Now, Miss Matilda Williams, you have to tell me what gate you are, or are you? And make sure you have your booth paid for. Thank you very much. Welcome, Miss Amrika Kate Zoga Thomas. Bayou Ines. She said yes. So true, my brother Ashford. Aminata Fatu Kamara. Trust me, sir. If you follow your passion, you will succeed. Welcome, Mr. Mika Yesia. Mr. Yesia likes the goat head soup. Just so you know, Mr. Garley. He was inquiring in my inbox what gate to get the goat head soup. That's only for men. But
go ahead soup and not small soup though. Myself tried the go ahead soup before in the price, and that's one of the. Oh my God!
He even wanted me to give him the ingredients. I told him I cannot give people a recipe over the internet without their permission. So we have Soiree Yata. She says, so true, Ashford. We have Des Johnson. Bravo, Ashford. And Payne. Good evening to everyone. We have Agba Momolu watching from DC.
You know, Agba Momolu is one of our strong supporters. You know, I'm surprised he's not a sponsor this week, but I know he will do something in just a little bit. And somebody was asking for the Cash App. I just pinned the Cash App number there, so you can just go and do what you have to do, because we can't do without your sponsorship. You know, and Mrs. Roberts. Speaking of sponsorship, I'd like to say the big thanks to Mazola Gissy. He runs the program that comes on every Sunday night or Sunday morning on Liberia Public Radio. He plays all kinds of great African and Liberian gospel music. And I also like to say the big thanks to Mr. Fayako Fair from Texas, and Nelly Say from Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Lamas Chopper from New York, Edna Yates from Seattle, Washington, Wickelman Sandolo from Boston, Massachusetts, Ibit Liberia from Philly, Eric Marshall also from Philly, Pauline Maximo from Philly, Ann Penn from New Jersey, Francis Power from Europe, Dr. Mariah Seaton from the state of Illinois, and Bintu Hunter from California. Sponsors for this week, and I'm telling you, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, all you have to do, visit the Cash App, and of course that Mika Ye, Theresa Williams, and Salimatu Kone, and Pamela King, and all these people. Continue, Mrs. Roberts.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Garley. We have Ambassador James B. Toe. What's the Cash App number? Oh, that was him asking. It's PIN, and the number here is 248-979-1718. That's 248-979-1718. We thank you for your patronage. We want to welcome Ms. Victoria B. Cheeks. We also want to welcome Mr. Alston Carpe, Mr. Gasegui Batalo. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry.
That's money there.
And I want to say thank you. Welcome, Ms. Adama Phillips. Even with the polls in America, people still go for primary. So elect their party candidates for elections. I think she's responding to your comment.
And Mrs. Roberts, while you're on there, Mr. Victor T. Brooks is asking, he said, please give me the information on how I can get my little business on your radio station. He lives in Minnesota, have a little business in Liberia on Oros oral single in Gaytown opposite the Christ the King Church, and he wants to advertise on Bridge Radio. So please take his information down, and we can get with him and see how best we can help him advertise his product on Bridge Radio. Okay, Mrs.
Thank
Rabbit.
you, definitely. We also want to welcome our other brother, Mr. Sekou Kane. Welcome, Sekou. We miss you on your platform. But as you can see, I became busy because you don't keep me occupied. Again, we want to say welcome to all of you as we begin our political soccer game. Please, Mr. Host, we say thank you. Thank you for the time. And at intermission, I will read to you a little Black history for our listeners. Thank you and welcome, Lady Eloise.
Wow.
Thank you.
Just let it get it to be very, very versatile in the broadcasting technique.
She's versatile. But listen, later on in the program, Mr. Clinton will break the news. He will go in depth in terms of the breaking news that we have tonight, especially for smuggling. Liberians have been accused of smuggling now. So at halftime, Mr. Clinton will go in depth. Okay, we just got another sponsor here tonight, Harris Talker. Want to say a big thanks to you for your contribution. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, landsman number 1 is the Senate. Landsman number 2 is the House of Representatives. The chief referee is the Supreme Court of Liberia, and the match commissioner is the U.S. Embassy. Let us now take a listen to the national anthem for societal ills.
Após a baia ter das, le propõe a caminho nuts. Let the people that said that more. When I tell you what you said, and you see that guy living up, that's how because you not get no job. Telling people actually high enough. Well, I'm not log asking more. All the trust of the force of the critics, the only thing we see. They are talking how they trying to play. Then I work on a lawyer were breaking for 250 for iron. So to be that game you call pepper soup. The gas fire way and money code. What proper?
And that's the national anthem for societal ills. And ladies and gentlemen, let us now take a listen to the national anthem of the Republic of Liberia. And that's the national anthem for the Republic of Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. At this time, we'd like to say a big welcome to the political soccer game between Liberia and societal ills. And I'm telling you, folks, let's play football. And the ball is now in the middle of the field, folks. I'm telling you, we're bringing you play-by-play description. We have the lineup for the strangers, lies, rhetoric. The Liberian will say rhetorics. We also have economic sabotage, theft of property, criminal conspiracy, and misapplication of entrusted funds, ghost employees. I'm telling you, folks, they got some great players here tonight, though. Then you also have power theft. Government officials are stealing light because they feel they're in power, so they don't have to pay light bill. They will also have Jolly Jolly. Jolly Jolly is a new player that George Weah introduced. Jolly Jolly meaning we will ball until George Weah gets filled and decides to sell the country. So Jolly Jolly is another player tonight. They will have illegal barrier. When the director of the Liberia National Police contracts funeral home and say, you come for the body and go bury it at 11 o'clock at night. So illegal burial is one of the players tonight on the field of play. Selected justice. You can send Ellen Johnson's elite children or her son to go to India to go seek medical attention. But you can't give Yeke Koluba the same option to go and seek medical attention. Can you believe this? Witch hunt. You are going after the younger brother of Darius Dillon, even though he supported you as a sedition, and he worked at the Ministry of Transport, and he did all he had to do just to promote. You remember when George Weah didn't have money? Where did he go? He went to the Ministry of Transport. But this young man, Oliver Dillon, is in jail today out of self-defense. People have attacked this young man in the past on several occasions. So this time and now, especially in the Gardensville area, he said, you know what? This time, if anybody want came in, they got to be prepared. So he hired lay protection. And they came to attack him and started beating him. He took out his weapon and returned the favor. They went to the police station. The police station said, but leave him and let the man go. That's self-defense. No, but because he's the younger brother of Darius Dillon, George Weah said, no, y'all go rearrest him, man. Y'all put him in jail. No, it will not happen yet. This is the kind of person we have as president of Liberia. We got 60% evaporation. Up to now, I have no idea what Marie Ure, who worked for 12 years with LPRC, and now she's the managing director of LPRC. You see, provisional lifting, when you come and take gasoline that doesn't belong to you, and then you say this in the pretense that, oh, my gas can, I'll replace it. There's a reason why George Weah has not made a statement. There's a reason why Marie Ure, Bobby Brown, Stanley Ford. I know all these boys, man. Stanley Ford used to be a band player with the band there and stuff. We spent some time together in Ghana. You know, Mise Messiah, he used to be a band player. Because of his connection with George Weah, now he's the deputy minister for administration. Bobby Brown's older brother used to be the managing director of LPRC. This is a guy at the time, Louis Brown, when Chancellor said bring $500,000 tonight, you'll bring it. All these people are criminals. And George Weah lost money. George Weah lost the ball. So these guys have just made George Weah stealing a lot more easier. You know, there's no reason why a real country would not reprimand the officials. Look, 2009, 2010, I was regional director for AT&T. When guys on the field now working for me misbehave, guess who they're coming after? They're coming after you. They are coming after you. The CEO at the big three, the Chrysler, the GM, and the Ford. You think when something starts to go wrong, you think they're going after the small man? They're going after the big head. But because of the limitation of George Weah, we'll continue to face this. And Liberia is just in a big mess, folks. I'm telling you. This is not good for Liberia, and this is not good for the people of Liberia. No action will be taken because that's the kind of person we have as president of Liberia. This is just so sad. And I hope that George Weah can see reason to turn things around. We have no malice against George Weah, but he has to come clean and say, you know what, I believe in the people of Liberia. Until he can do that, we'll be in serious problem. Then we'll also have sex trafficking, wasteful spending, police brutality. They are beating people. Today we have a journalist who is dead because of George Weah bodyguards. They beat the man until the man started bleeding internally. He complained the same very night he was beaten. Zeno Miller is dead today. He was beaten. He was tortured. And he eventually died from the beating. And some people are trying to protect this and make it seem that we're playing politics with this stuff. No. The man himself complained. He said, my people are in some serious chest pain. My whole body hurting me because of the beating I received from the brutality of the EPS officers in the presence of the EPS boss. And I said to you on Monday that on March the 3rd, we'll make it 1 year since the death, since the brutal killing of Matthew Innes. Wait till March 3rd. All of the major newspapers in Liberia will give you graphic images of how Matthew Innes was murdered. Look, how can you say the man died from car accident? The 3 o'clock in the morning, but how car accident can the driver can move from the car and go catch the body and then tie the body here again? Get a dog out of bed. I mean, where in the world can you see that? All kind of tie mark. You don't see no scraping mark from the car, nothing. But they tie the man hand. They broke his neck. Then they said that car accident. And this is something that you haven't heard before. You know, others are saying that when they took the body, they're talking straight to the police, talking straight to the funeral. No, let me break this for you. It didn't happen. They're talking to a nearby clinic, but the people at the clinic, the nurses at the clinic, were so overwhelmed they couldn't do anything. That's how they took the body and subsequently took the body to the funeral home. They did the first thing first, even though they killed the man and dropping at the accident scene and making it seem that it was an accident. But later on, they took the body to a nearby clinic. But because of lack of professionalism, the clinic rejected the body. What are you going to see on March the 3rd? As a matter of fact, you'll be shocked. I was in Liberia in 2016 when Harris Greaves died. Harris Greaves, when he died, I was in Liberia. The killing job, a hotel that they talk about now. And let me tell you, how can you say, and they brought pathologists in the country. Government bring in pathology in the country, and you think that people will side with the victim family or something? In fact, who pay for the pathologists to come in the country? That's a question you should be asking. And to our almost surprised, folks, even though the doctor, initially the doctor said, that man was mildly beaten to death. They had stick. Be still, let my two hands put together, and they put the stick in the man's rectum. Not one person died that night. 2 people died because Harry Greaves had black belt. Okay? So he fought and killed one of the NSA officers. So 2 people died that night. But Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's son was the NSA director. So of course they have to cover that up. Not only that, folks. You see the man died. He died by drowning. But what stick was doing in the man's butthole? They had big stick in the man's butt, but they said the man died by drowning. Mercury oil. When I saw Harry Greaves' body, I couldn't eat meat for the next whole week. It was so graphic. Not only that, don't be surprised, folks. The government of Liberia is calling for autopsy, right? For Zeno Miller. Don't be surprised when they say the man had bleeding on the brain. You remember Charles Johnson, the young man that went to Liberia for vacation, that died at the EW hospital because of hypertension or blood pressure. They say, oh yeah, bleeding on the brain. Don't be shocked. Because the EPS director, first thing Saturday morning, he's not part of the Pure family, but he had the report in his hand. Now that man died from blood pressure, hypertension. Don't be shocked. Whoever pathology they bring in when they tell you say the man died from bleeding on the head, as it relates to Zeno Miller, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. That's how evil these people are. They will do everything to cover up. And you know, Liberia is a country friend. Liberia is not a country. Liberia is a country wannabe. Because these people don't mean well for Liberia. I know you're watching George Weah, because last night you said you didn't know what you did to Maine, but it's not about Maine. You should be asking yourself what you did to Liberia or what you did to the Liberian people. How can you come to power stealing? That body people do this, and the people giving us hard time. They just select any Tom, Dick, and Harry to be president of Liberia. At the end of the day, this is what you give us in return, George Weah. You made money, a lot of money, as a professional soccer player. You squandered your money because of mental instability. You regained your wealth at the expense of Liberia and the poor Liberian people in just under 2 years. Look at the country. In this day and age, 25 kg burger should be costing what, 4,000 Liberian dollars? Amen. Pig feet, chicken feet, expired goods, they bring it in the country now. Because Liberia is a dump site. We get to receive all the toxin. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to Borrow Initiative. Borrow Initiative of police brutality. Police brutality back to money laundering. Money laundering back to Borrow Initiative. George Weah, how can you borrow something that does not belong to you? And in the event, look, it's okay to borrow something, but please let me know that you're borrowing my stuff. You borrow something, you didn't tell me you're borrowing the stuff, then you have this low life. Samuel Twa is saying that he found by Ashford Garley. My people, you think he really want to go there? Samuel Twa, you really want to go there? You say you found past me. You went, then he said, oh, Ashford Garley, it may get big hole in your head. Then he talking about me. I found past him. Samuel Twa, you really found past me? Okay, let me just let that one pass because when I open my mouth right now to say the main get him a feeling. The ball comes to pay as you go. Pay as you go looks around to urgent care. Urgent care back to pay as you go to desperation. Desperation to drugs abuse to no light, no gas. No light, no gas. Oh, I'm telling you, then the ball comes back to we Ebola to between me and you. Then the ball comes back to hypocrisy to me, myself, and I onto sycophancy. The ball comes back to misplaced retaliation. You want to retaliate, but your retaliation is misplaced. What I'm telling you, we're bringing you play-by discussion this afternoon at the SKD Sports Complex in Painesville, and no score to either side, no score to Liberia, and no score to Societal Ills. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to executive torture. They are torturing people now in Liberia. They will torture you. They will crush you. They will put your living body in the mattress. They tie that mattress and beat you until you start to bleed internally. This is something we call Liberia. When you have men like DKB, Shafa Norman, Ofori Deer, Augustine Nangwe, all these wicked people, you have them as your friends. Then what kind of change you looking for? George Weah, who once served as peace ambassador, all these people are your friends. Then the ball comes to human sacrifice to internal bleeding to abuse of power to human rights abuse. Then the ball comes back to witch hunt looks around to 60% evaporation, aka Marie Ure looks around to finger in the tank. You know, there has something put in place before called transparency report. So when you have your gasoline at LPRC, you don't have to worry, because you know what? You can just go from the transparency report and see how many gallons you left there in the thing. No, this corrupt, irresponsible, good for nothing president came and started issuing licenses to people who didn't have the technical know-how on how to leave the country and bring products to the country. All kind of black money people, Joshua gave them licenses. They went in there and stole the people gasoline. And today, this is what we have to deal with. Back to the field of plug, the ball comes to provisional lifting. Provisional lifting looks around to brutality. That is looks around back to provisional lifting onto human rights abuse to abuse of power to internal bleeding to human sacrifice onto executive torture. My people, Liberia is in trouble. Matthew Innes was murdered because he was one of the directors at the central bank, and the $25 million US dollar was meant for the map up exercise. He was very well in the know. They had to get rid of this man. They were very successful in doing that. Nathaniel Patrick got paid, even though you were old enough to retire, but they brought him back because they wanted to steal. And when we say these people are criminals, you better believe us. Listen to some of the names, and we'll continue to talk about this, because this is not fair to Liberia and the people of Liberia. God is able, Foreign Bureau. That business need that now. I want to see the article of incorporation of God is able, Foreign Bureau. And it means with God, we are able to steal this money. They also had nothing past God Foreign Bureau. No journalist in the country was able to say, let's see the article of incorporation of God is able Foreign Bureau or nothing past God Foreign Bureau. Nothing past God Foreign Bureau. God will make us succeed in stealing this money. The Empowerment Foreign Bureau. Where is the article of incorporation for the Empowerment Foreign Bureau? And you know the answer? This is our time to steal. Liberia finished, man. This country is done. Surprise Foreign Bureau. Liberian people will be surprised. We give them our way. Then we also have Convenient Foreign Bureau. But what think the people will be surprised for? Ain't it stupid? By making our stealing convenient for us, by making TV role where president? Then they say abundance foreign. I want to see that article in corporate now say abundance Foreign Bureau. I said, my girl, that's why I'm speaking now. I said, my girl, tell we are not to worry. The money is here in abundance. When this one finishes, we'll go to the World Bank. When our other one finishes again, then we'll go to the Donors Fund. And you start seeing the duplexes of George Weah, the condominiums going up at the expense of Liberia and the poor Liberian people. And we're sitting there. They say, oh, hey, Liberians are so gullible. They say, at least the men not taking the money out of the country, the men being right in Liberia. Can you believe that? And these are the same people. Hey, I don't want custom that. But these are the same people that will come and say, oh, Brother Ashford, please send me something. Who did you vote for? Oh, but you know, I voted for George Weah. Eh? Let George Weah give you something. Don't call me to ask me for something. Then we have Determiner Foreign Bureau. We are determined to flush the country down the toilet. Let me see the article of incorporation or business registration for Determiner Foreign Bureau. Then they say good rate Foreign Bureau. Yeah. We will give all our girlfriends and the good rate so they can go to China, go to Nigeria, go to Ghana, and bring in goods and start selling so they can do things for themselves. So if the rate was 199 to $1 US, guess what? The girlfriend then will go and get the rate 1-to-1. George Weah's administration was not the first time you see this happen, though. I saw this happen on the Child Citizens Administration. the JB Dennis and the Sheba Brown, then all those people that were in the National Bank, guess what? They will get their contacts. Their family bring money, they exchange it 1-to-1. But on the streets, it's a different rate. You think the people love Liberia? This country is not going anywhere anytime soon until we have a responsible leadership. And speaking about responsible leadership, you, the jokers, the opposition, you better put your act together. The nonsense you're doing, you're attacking each other on Facebook. You think that the kind of bullshit we're going to deal with here when the people suffering in Liberia? That just shows that all of you are damn rogues. You are thieves. Y'all want to come there and just steal. That's why it shows. If you can't come together and work together and unseat their role, this criminal, this clown, and you want to be fighting among yourselves, you expect us. That's why I decided not to be part of any political party, because I want to open my damn mouth and say something when it's not right. This is a complete bullshit. You're attacking each other for no reason. I mean, just what the fuck? You know? We got serious things going in the country. No light, no water, no medical supplies. People using their bare hands to do surgery. Then you're playing politics with the lives of the Liberian people. Why you can't play the role of the third person? When somebody attacks you, do you have to respond to them? In fact, you on the other end, why are you in fact attacking the person? The person has the right to say what they say, or he or she has to say. Bunch of stupid people. George Weah will give it to you. And I will not be surprised if George Weah goes for 24 years. Because of your own stupidity. Then they got something they call good rate. No, stand up Foreign Bureau. But the Liberian people know we don't have stand up. So what are they talking about? We will continue to steal this money and nothing they will not do to us. Then they got new rate Foreign Bureau. We are the new rich people in Liberia. Hey God, you have just made our stealing easy, and we'll continue to steal. These are the kind of things that we're going through in Liberia. Back to the field of play, folks. You think when the people talk about torture, you think torture is a small thing? You know how many people have disappeared in Liberia and we don't know where they are? Have you ever thought about the guy who disclosed the money that was brought in the country? And ever since then, we have not heard anything about them. No. These people, when they get into power, they love to play with blood. Look at former Salif today, and he's not Norman. About 2.5 lots in Ashford, opposite the home of former Salif. You will be shocked as to the contractors we hired behind former Salif's compound. Skeletons. They killed people and buried them behind that compound in Ashford. You know how many people they killed, and they can't give reason of how these people were killed in that country? Nathaniel McGill, George Weah, you think their hands are clean? These people have tasted blood. But you know one thing? God has a way of giving back, of paying you for what you've done. The people that killed in the 70s, in the 80s, under the Samuel Doe regime, where they are today. Where is Samuel Doe today? And Samuel Doe felt he could put 13 decent men on the pole at BTC and put them on firing squad in the name of rampant corruption. So no corruption in Liberia, right? The country is more corrupt than ever before in the history of Liberia. Why do you kill these people, especially the South Sudanese, who had just come from school, fresh from school? They put him on firing squad and killed him, killed these people. You see that corruption? You know, all these bad people are still around today. The Amos Sawyer, the Tokbana Tipote, the H. Bama family, the Oscar Jawi Queer, the George Bole, the Alhaji Kroma, the George Doe, the Snagger. All these people are around. These people raped our sisters, our brothers, and they are still around in Liberia today. We can get justice. George Weah, you claim to be peace ambassador. What will it take for you to sign off on war crime code so that our people can get justice? What will it take? I'm a countryman. Rennie Chelsea is a Congo man. But I love the brother. The brother loves man. His father was one of those that were killed at the BTC for rampant corruption. William O'Neill was my classmate at Zion University. Franklin D. was killed for rampant corruption. Mayor Urey, my friend and big sister, Offie Bright, the father was killed for rampant corruption. My father was murdered. All my uncles were murdered the same day. My wife's both parents were killed. Her mom was killed by Prince Johnson. The child said officer killed her father. Today, my children don't have the luxury of grandparents. And you are saying, you stupid fool with B.I. bombing, you can't come and say, let's bring the war crime code and so we can have some type of closure. The very killers are in Liberia today and they are plying the streets on government payroll, taxpayers' money. These are a bunch of killers. And we can get justice. And when I tell you, say I have no respect for George Weah, when my son and my daughter, they see somebody who is supposed to be 65, 70 years old, they will ask me, Daddy, is that grandma? Is that grandpa? Because they don't have that luxury of grandparents. George Weah never felt the war in Liberia. So he thinks it's okay that we can't have a closure when it comes to the war crime court. And he supports Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Today, Ellen's son is in India seeking medical treatment. But Jackie Kulba can't go. Jackie Kulba was abused at a very young boy. Because he's very critical of you and your government. You want to see Yeke Koluba dead today. And that's the kind of leadership you think you are bringing. Folks, that's how we come to the end of the first half. After the first half, now we're going to open the telephone line. Then, of course, we're going to bring in Mr. Habiba Clinton to break the news about the 25 Liberians that are in custody right now in Sierra Leone for smuggling. Let's play football. And at this time, I'd like to go back to the field where Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts is standing back. Would you please just tell us what's going on around the field? I know we got a little emotion on there, but what's going on, Letty? Letty Brooks Roberts, are you there?
Yes. Yes, I am. Good evening. I always have to unmute myself.
I know
unlike
that.
Habiba.
Please bring us up to speed. What's going on from your end, Mrs. Roberts?
I have great news for you, Mr. Garley.
All right.
At VIP, right behind you, we have some juicy. I said juicy. Did you hear the word juicy? Some juicy potato greens with cow skin, with some dry boning.
You sure that real cow skin? They're not issuing.
Don't spoil it now.
Okay.
No issue in it. I already investigated.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, just fresh cow meat, cubed. Then they have some fried fish in it.
Wow.
Are you getting hungry yet?
I'm already hungry.
And some nice country rice.
Wow.
Remember, your wife is trying to keep you trim, right?
So
that country rice is not starchy, like no regular rice. We wanted to bring you some brown rice, but some on the side just in case.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Sounds very good.
Then somebody else, one of your biggest fans, brought you some jollof.
Oh,
not the Nigerian jollof. Not the Ghanaian jollof, the Liberian jollof.
Wow.
And that's jollof rice for those of you who don't know. And then we have some potato salad. I said VIP rich tonight. All the things in VIP, they ain't even come to the gates yet.
Wow.
Then I see one of your other fans bringing in a tray of vegetables. I know you say you don't want diet food, but the people got to mix it up now.
You know, and then did it what they can put on fire, my sister. So whatever.
Okay, so they got some carrots, some broccoli, some celeries. All you got to do is just put it in a dip.
Oh wow!
That's for all of you in VIP, including our sponsors.
Okay.
And of course.
And speaking of,
Celia is here tonight, so she got an XO for y'all.
Who Celia now?
Celia Ajavon.
Celia in the house tonight?
That's correct.
Oh, she made it back from Clay Ashland?
Yes, she did. And she brought some goodies too. I don't know what she made as dish, but I know she got her the special bag, gift box and all.
Oh wow. Okay, let me.
And may I also let you know we have Winsley here. He just came from LIB, so I'm sure he brought some goodies too.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, Winsley, that's AKA Christmas.
Christmas is here.
Christmas is here.
Oh no, I need to talk to Christmas. I need to tell Christmas to call me. I need to talk to Christmas.
Christmas, the number is pinned down. It's used. It's a multi-use number.
Yeah.
You
Christmas
can call
to
in the
call
show,
me. I need to talk
or
to the
you
brother.
can support.
I mean, the disgraced
with the Cash
Zolizo,
app.
and they accepted Christmas when he went to the University of Liberia. Oh my God, I need to talk to Christmas. I need to talk to Christmas tonight. But Mrs. Roberts,
if you're listening, please call Mr. Garley at the next half break.
Mrs. Roberts, I want you to hold on. We just got some sponsors that came in, and I want to recognize them. Agbat Mobolu want to say a big thanks to you for your sponsorship. Harris Tucker, we also like to say a big thanks to you as well. And then we have Abel Liberia. We also have Theresa Williams. Then we have Micaiah Ye, Catherine Jones, Musul Dauber. And let me visit the actual list now of the sponsorship, folks. I'm telling you, again, we can't do this by ourselves. We need your help for us to keep British Radio Liberia going. And as a matter of fact, next week we are going to go full blast with our team in Liberia, and it is all because of you. Okay, a big thanks to Mr. Lama Shepherd, Mazola Gisi, Faya Kofe, Nelly Se, Ethno Yates, Wokumen and Dolo, Abel Liberia, Eric Marshall, Pauline Maximo, N. Penn, Francis Power, Dr. Mariah Seaton, and Bindu Hunter, Want to say the big thanks to you for what you've done and continue to do just for British Radio Liberia, British Radio Africa, and British Radio Diaspora. Go ahead, Mrs. Roberts.
Okay. So as we take our break, I would like to read a moment in history. During the 1920s, Liberian President Charles D.B. King visited the United States and toured the Tuskegee Institute. Upon his return to Liberia, he hired Robert R. Taylor, an MIT class of 1892, to design a campus for a similar school in Kakata, Liberia. The Liberian government donated 1,000 acres for the proposed Booker T. Washington Agricultural and Industrial Institute. And then in 1929, Taylor and his wife traveled to Liberia, where he was to lay his architectural plans and to devise a program in industrial training for BWI. The Liberian project cemented Taylor's reputation among African Americans in the U.S., earning him an honorary doctorate from Lincoln University. BWI was Liberia's first agricultural and vocational school. It was also the largest secondary school in the country during the first part of the 21st century and has been transitioning to a community college curriculum as of 2014. Today, BWI is the oldest and most renowned institute of agriculture and home economics. That is a moment in history relating Booker Washington Agricultural Institute to Liberia, and today it is boasted of one of the most prestigious technical school. We have many people here in the diaspora that are alumni of BWI. I bring you a moment in history. Thank you, Mr. Garley.
Okay, and folks, that's the voice of Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts, and at this time, I want to go to Liberia, where Mr. Tabiba Clinton is standing by to give us in-depth explanation about the 24 Liberians that in custody now in Sierra Leone. Mr. Clinton, the microphone is all yours. Please break the news for everybody tonight.
Okay, thank you very much, Ashford. The news British Radio just brought up, decided to scoop this news from the strong objective length. So to enable those who are under custody can be pay attention to, because since they left last Friday, they went to get gasoline, and here, of course, the gasoline issue, as we put it, have been the hottest cake on the market, where people selling in the street, exacerbating the prices of a gallon of gas, and you go to various streets in Monrovia, specifically in the various filling station, gasoline, a gallon of gasoline is sold for $6.25, $6.35, but people have got into this business. When they get their gallons, cans, and fill it and go in the street to sell it, sometimes 1,500, 2,500. So many of the guys, some major from Pinsville, troop in, went to the Bull water side. They are entering what's in legal, according to the story we gathered from the reliable source, from the lady whose name cannot be available at this moment, as she said, which we probably need to give her that protection. The husband was also involved. They crossed the border and went to Bull water side. From Bull water side, they went to Kenema. And when this group went to Kenema to gather the gasoline, we were opportune to get in their consignment. En route back, they was caught for and they were arrested by security in Salion. But we should know that they got immigration along the border. But at this moment, the Liberian Immigration Service has not really paid attention to that. And the guys have been under detention for the past 4 days. So British Radio was called a bomb because people want to get their voices or maybe issue of them heard on the international medium like this. So I was given a call by a lady, and they said that, oh, I overheard that you are a reporter here. So after the investigation, she placed a call, and this guy happened to be one lackey who is being affected in this particular arrest. They've been out there, said that they were there, they've been under detention. The Liberians in Bow Waterside, which is called Bow City, took the initiative to take a bomb for those guys. So they will be appearing to court tomorrow.
Wow.
And the decision that's going to be taken will determine their returning back or they're going to stay there. But just a flashing of information has to do with to have drawn government attention to those guys who are presently at that area, so that they will be able to have some immediate intervention and their issue going to be addressed so they can come and see their family. So it's a very serious notice. And the brother of this lucky fellow is en route to, he left this evening, so that we hope to be placing a call to him and what have been the outcome, will be the finalizing aspect of the trial tomorrow. So it's good that we brought this to the attention to the public, and the other people living in Monrovia, government officials and other people will get to take due cognizance of this. So the media will be able to take it, in the kind of minor that people will be concerned about these people, because the issue of them have been in the kind of hating mood. So it's good that we brought this at the kind of international medium to let people get to know what's unfolding.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Clinton. And I want you to please do a story and put it on the website. And this is breaking. We are the only station right now that is carrying this. Is that fresh breaking news, and I think that's a good thing for British Radio. Do that. And when you go to the website, BritishRadioAfrica.com, don't just go to the read the story. And not forget, you will see that that's a radio station. We're on 24 hours. You go on BritishRadioAfrica.com, click on the play icon to the upper left-hand corner. You will start to hear music. In some instances, you will listen to some of the previous shows that we had. And let me welcome back to America, Mr. Jacob G. Daniels, at which you can call tonight. He said, look, Ashford, I just came back from Liberia on Monday. It was crazy. He paid $10 for a gallon of gasoline. So, folks, I'm telling you, and this is your home. This station belongs to all of you. Again, we can't do this by ourselves. You know, we've tried for a very long time, you know, Eloise and I, but this time we're taking the station to you, the people now. So any little dirty water can put a fire. Whether it's $5, it's $10, just visit the Cash App and do something, because that alone will keep Mene Habiba Clinton. You heard the breaking news. He will be on to give you event as they unfold in Liberia. Now, this is a very big announcement. I want you to please pay attention. Next week, we have a soccer tournament between George Weah's Sunshine Girls and the hard-working ladies here in the diaspora. And I would need you to please tell us if you want to be part of the game. Your registration is $25. Register because you'll be going against people like Claudia, Piso City Tar, Safwa May Gray, Emma Glasgow, Nora Finabono, Joan Nessie Cassell, Polito Wee, Polito Wawe, Polito Kawe Wee, Abigail Cassell. Look, this game will be so interesting. You also have played the Lydia Sherman, Diamond Nemo, aka Ice Cream, Joshua Play Toy. You will have names like Mama Si Kaba, Memuna Carr, Nimade Pearson. You know, Nimane Pearson and George Weah used to play way back in Ghana, but then when she realized that she loved the same sex, then she would just bring all the fun girls then George Weah will come in the middle of the room where there are 5 or 6 girls, and they all will continue to just play tate. That Nimane Pearson, she's dead now. She's in the league also. She will bring all those fun girls then George Weah will come in the middle, then we'll all play tate together. Then you also have Princess Tuklo, Estelle Liberty, Titi Gipro, Ellen Cochran. You know that she's 47 years, but she lost 60. Anyway, you can be very careful with Ellen Cochran. This is a woman we can just put the recorder in her present. She put a recorder in her present. Anything you say, she record you. That the kind of person right now a high on her, but then again, like bro, ain't got no border. That you know that for a free border, $10 to cross the border, $5 to cross the border. I would not be surprised if Ellen Cochran leaves the country. Then we have Joey Gorman, they're all on the field. Yvette Freeman, Jamal Wodokoli, they're all there on the field. So they'll be coming to play. So if you really want to go against these people, and you can play kickball, because the trashy they're wearing, they call it ball shorts. But in Liberia, they can call it ball hole junction. That ball hole junction, you can really actually see the trashy, all the significant order can be showing that the trashy they're wearing to play off. And they say some of your guys is on your side, you ain't able to run past them. But I'm challenging you now to join. If you want to be part of the game, next week, George Weah Sunshine Girls and the Gladiators, headed by Howard Merchgard, the Yasendi, Eloise said, I'm more annoyed. Yeah, Eloise said will be there too. That the small leg she get, I don't know if she can handle they'll get in from Liberia, and they'll get in, they don't play. You know, my one in Dix, who is George Weah travel package. You know, she breaking all around, so she saw Putin, you know, in Russia. Then we'll also have, then we'll have Mona Youngblood, aka Kwea, aka Pra, aka Water Bird. So if you're ready, people like Terry Choir, then Musu Double, if you're ready for all these people, you gotta get ready. Madera Cooper, you know, Joe, we have Baby Man, all these people getting ready now to play against you. They're ready preparing. They say these getting in America and they getting in Europe, all the BB mob they get will play them. So next week is a big political soccer game between George Weah Sunshine Girls and the hard-working Gladiators. Patricia Peters and all will be playing. Dino Donald then, you know, will be playing. Pauline Maximo, Agnes Benson, then, you know, Letty Brooks Robert. The only thing I would say Letty Brooks because she'll be in the commentating booth with me, so she'll not play. But I'm telling you, folks, you'll get ready for this all-important political soccer game. With that said, I will take Letty Brooks to bring us up to speed. Then we'll go back to the field of play for the second and final portion of the game. Folks, let's play football. Letty?
That is too funny. I will be on the sideline just in case that somebody break their foot. I will come in. Oh God! But thank you, Mr. Garley, for again. This is our de-stressor. We all come here to laugh and release our stress. This world is so full of so much stress, you know, coming from home and abroad. And right around us every day, you see something that causes you to frown or just be afraid. So we come here to, you know, unleash our stress. For me, I come here for the music. I love the commentary, and of course, the entertainment from the audience. So right now, I'm gonna read a few comments. While we have all of these, Blackla and Waterburn, all these people.
I tell you,
I want to read a few of your comments. Coming from Walking Man Sandolo, he says, "Good game coming up. Can't wait next week. Yes, come and patronize our girls." And then we have Marie Pader. She said, "We will be there." I think she should be one of the players. We have Matilda Williams. When will the game be? When will be the game?
The game is coming on Wednesday of next week, ladies' night. Patricia Peters is saying she already warming up. Next week, Wednesday, but if they can't pay that $25 to register, then they will not be playing on the field. So you got to stress that $25 to be on the field of play. All these beautiful women there, like, yeah, you're working hard, you guys, and don't get it in Liberia. They ain't got to wear how. Because mattress on the back, thread on the needle, you know, shake from the waist below, sex for job, they already got money. But y'all work higher, so you gotta be prepared. That means y'all put it out there so y'all can know. Go ahead, Mrs. Roberts.
And you know, just to emphasize, you know, these girls cannot get all this free money and come beat us who work hard for our money. So we got to show them when you work hard for something, you got to secure it. Okay? So we're going to make sure we get our girls. In fact, I know for a fact how our Mesga is training people right now. So if you have to register, call inbox Miss Howard Mesga for you to get your disclaimer. She wants you to sign a form that anything happen to you, you own your own. So please,
Jowia's sunshine girls will give you people work for your money.
I tell you, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you think we've been working, we'll be working next Wednesday.
And Mrs. Roberts, we're also looking for sponsors for next week, you know. So
that's correct.
If you're interested in becoming a sponsor for next week, please let us know now, because tomorrow will be our last day of production for this week, and the sponsors we will be taking away from our sponsor very soon. So if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please feel free to contact us, you know, through Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts, a True Man, or through our Bridge Radio Facebook page and all that good stuff. This game is here for you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Garley. But before we I turn it back to you, I just wanted to read this comment from George Nima. He says, brother, that Bobby in the foreign ministry with his cronies are blood guilty, but some novice Liberians are still blind to understand that fact. That's why we are unknown to the World Crimes Court. And Miss Sarah Putu Wei, she said, I feel your pain, my darling brother, because I lost my uncles by Charles Taylor soldiers, my uncle by LPC soldiers that were slaughtered like animals. That is my reason why I support the Work and Economics Crime Court. I will not rest until my people just get justice. By grace, love you all, family.
Okay, and folks, let us now take a few words from our sponsors, and then we'll come back for the second and final portion of the game.
No food, that one, they issue me talk, I beg you, man.
No, my man John, that bar you do, no, that bar. Hey, my begin, what happened?
I said, my man John, I do verse all day today. I was walking, the gear bending, no car to go hustle. I can't Jebena himself small driver set. I go ask her, she issue me talk, telling me say she tired and I'm feeling okay today. So she will start cooking the time she feel it. She not feeling cooking. I said, Jebe, what thing making you not feeling good? Jebe won't talk bad to me. I whistle on your ear. All the people go hustle. You can't no food. That one, they issue me talk. I beg you, man.
No, my man John, that bar you do, no, that bar. Oh, but you don't know Billy woman understand now. Ever say this time, my man, we can just talk to our woman. You can say sweet into them. We can talk it that sweet. No, you can say my chemo. Hey, my darling, my sweetie, hey, man, I'm hungry. Oh. Now, where do you go today? Or the thing you do, I don't like it. But to be woman that bar. No, I say my own chemo. The naked way I can talk to her, say everything can be all right. She can be happy. I can get anything I want. And you know, and you see how she can be happy with our children say? So low, John, my brother, when you vex, I your friend here. Can't lecture with me. I will lecture you how to take care of a woman to cool your heart. I will show you woman 101. Beating woman not good. You are a star. And look at you. Who the woman you ever? Because when I your friend, man, he will buzz your dude.
This announcement was brought to you by Diaspora Women for Change Incorporated and Alliance for Liberian Women International.
Woman.
And I'm telling you, that's just one of the sponsors, and the sponsors for this week. For a whole week, it would just cost you about $100. And the sponsor for this week, we have Mr. Mazola Gisi. He's the guy that hosts the program called the Sonic Gospel on Liberia Public Radio. Fayako Fed is from the Houston, Texas. Nella Say is from Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Lyman Shepherd, Edna Yates, Wilkome Sandolo, Abit Liberia. He's the guy that is going to Liberia to educate the pimping drivers and the keke drivers on how to conduct themselves on the streets. Miss Pauline Maximo, N. Penn, Francis Power, Dr. Mariah Seaton, Bindu Hunter, and these are the sponsors for this week. So if you want to be a sponsor for next week, especially when we have this soccer tournament between George Weah, Sunshine Girls, and our hard-working sisters here in America, you can be a sponsor. But if you just want to be a player on the field, for $25, you will be a player on the field, and if you want to be in VIP, any dirty water can put a fire. Whether it's $10, it's $15, it's $20. You know, we need your support because we're not in the pockets of these politicians. We're not in the pockets of the government officials. We are self-funded, and with your help, we will continue to stay on the radio. Ask Sekou Kane, ask all of these people on the radio. When you sit down for 3-4 hours in one place, before we even come, you know, they have something they call pre-production, production, and post-production. When you're ready to do radio and television, it takes time. It just doesn't happen like that. They find out